A total, utter, complete, shambolic disaster. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. And awful news to come out over the past couple of days. Abel Tesfaye, aka The Weeknd, had to cancel a show, a sold-out show in LA in the midst of a tour for his fantastic new record, Dawn FM. And yes, as it's been said, a couple songs in, it seems that Abel's voice had gone out. Here we have a public apology from Abel. My voice went out in the first song, and I'm devastated, felt it go, and my heart dropped. My deepest apologies to my fans here. I promise I'll make it up to you with a new date.
This is killing me. I don't want to stop the show. But I can't give you the concert that I want to give you. I'm going to make sure everybody's good. Get your money back, but I'll do a show real soon for you guys. And I wanted to come out and personally apologize, and I'll tweet it or Instagram or whatever. I want you guys to know I can't give you what I want to give you. I apologize. I love you. Thank you so much.
As you can hear there, the crowd booing, the crowd unhappy. Abel, not to diss the guy or throw shade at the guy. I mean, I think it's kind of understandable in his situation, but looking like a lost child in a way, utterly heartbroken, just looking devastated, looking like he did not want to cancel that show at all. And yet he had to, because I guess performance-wise, things just would not have been up to his standard. But again, the crowd disappointed, and understandably so, because, for a concert with an artist headlining this huge at a stadium this big, no doubt people shelled out quite a bit of dough for those seats, maybe even traveled miles and miles and miles to get there that evening, made huge plans in terms of time committed and also budgeting to see this show. I mean, money's tight these days. Everybody knows that. And while I'm sure everyone coming away from this performance is going to be made whole as far as the ticket sales go, there are other expenses that just can't really be made up for in this instance. So I can understand why people would be still pissed and angry, but I certainly don't vibe with what this dude is saying over here with him being lazy at this point, as Abel has been a pretty consistent creator and performer for a very long time on the pop and R&B circuit. But considering the fact that Abel does love to provide very strong live vocals during his performances may also run really long, and also considering he most likely has a lot of dates for this Dawn FM tour, there has to be a way to kind of maybe space some of these performances out, either in this tour or moving forward with any tour or performance in the future. So this man is not taxing his vocals to the degree to which he has to do something like this. Because Abel is far from the only artist at his level to be pushing his vocals in such a way to where we're hearing performances that are maybe not up to snuff. We have one tweet here saying this is why lip syncing is necessary when touring, even if it's looked down on. And no doubt that is what is happening at a lot of like mainstream pop shows that you're seeing nowadays. And if it did end up being to the benefit of the performance, the concert experience, and also Abel's physical health, it might not necessarily be a bad thing. And when it comes to vocals, performing live and on tracks, Abel does not fuck around. He's certainly putting a lot more vocally into his songs than many other artists who are, in his lane these days. It's completely understandable for him to maybe need longer breaks between shows so that he's not, burning his voice out or anything like that. And again, hopefully this is something that logistically can be looked at and considered when he and other artists at his level are touring into the future.
But I can't give you what I want to give you right now. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I love you guys so much.
It's so tough, and I imagine, again, for everyone there, so disappointing. I could see the argument that the crowd is just like, being too much, asking for too much, being cold-hearted, and being careless in their response to, you know, what Abel is dealing with here and, you know, what he has to come forward and tell the crowd. But simultaneously, like, would a lot of those people had been disappointed? Would they have been completely heartbroken in the way that they are currently if Abel just, you know, did a bunch of lip syncing through the rest of the set? Most likely no. I think a lot of people in the pit, a lot of people in the stands would have been fine with that type of performance. That is the type of performance that a lot of pop artists are giving these days. But to finally assess this situation, was the crowd being a little too negative, a little too unforgiving toward Abel? Yes. Was he stuck between a rock and a hard place in terms of canceling here because of the limitations of his voice in this moment? Yes. But simultaneously, could this have been prevented with more planning around the necessity for rest between shows, or maybe even saved with some lip syncing or a lip sync / live mix across the track list? Yes, and possibly. Again, unfortunate that this had to happen and this show was canceled, but hopefully this is not a recurring event into the future, and Abel with the rest of this tour is able to avoid stuff like this. Those are my thoughts. Hit me with yours down in the comments. You're the best. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, The Weeknd Forever.